And I can tell you, and so on Dunning Avenue, last 235 Dunning Avenue.
Yeah.
Jean and David
Elk.
Yes, thank you. I knew it was a real short last name, it just wasn't. So, Aaron and I go over to the town court at 10 o'clock. And
This was like Friday.
last Friday. So Judge, and it was supposed to be down for a trial, but for some reason Judge DeSalvo didn't have it down for a trial. So, and he had other things at 11. I don't know what got lost in translation. But in any event, when Mr. Elk and his mom showed up with their attorney, Dave Morbido, who I get along with Dave fine, he's a very good lawyer, primarily does criminal stuff. His office in East Rochester, I think. But so what happened is that Mrs. Elk, because technically she's the property owner, she was granted an adjournment in contemplation of dismissal, with the condition being, so the condition that the property is cleaned up within 30 days. The reason that Aaron and I agreed to that was because finally, Mr. Elk at least did something. He actually rented a storage unit over on the ones on Phillips Road by Holy Trinity, which is the first time in over a year he's done anything. So we took that as at least a good faith, a show of good faith that he's going to do something. And he started with all that. He had every excuse in the book. He had this injury and that injury and why he couldn't do this stuff. So he wanted 60 days, but the judge said, no, all you're getting is 30 days. So he's got 30 days to move everything into the storage unit. We said we don't care where it goes as long as it's off the front, the side, and the back of your property. And the other condition is that Mrs. Elk specifically granted permission for Aaron to go on the property to inspect it, not in the house, but at least, in the backyard, and so you can see that the stuff is out of there. If it's not out of there, well, I guess I gotta, so the adjournment and contemplation of dismissal is technically for 6 months. So he's got the other condition, he's got to keep it clean for at least for the 6 months, or it all comes back again, and we start over. So basically, though, if it's not cleaned up in 30 days, at that point, the judge will set it down for trial again, but it's not going to get dismissed. But since he spent at least $138 for the first month rent, hopefully he'll move stuff in there and keep renting out the storage unit.
I wonder what it looks like inside the house.
Well, Aaron and the fire marshal want to get in the house, but you gotta make an application for an administrative search warrant. It's basically like any other search warrant. You gotta show probable cause that there are violations of the building, property maintenance, and fire codes. And it's gotta be by affidavit. So, right, unless they, Aaron says, well, I can look into I can see that there's stuff in the garage. Well, the garage isn't in the house. How do you know what's going on in the house? Because he's very careful not to go on the property and peek through the windows. So I said, Aaron, you gotta, if you can tell me what the probable cause is, why you believe that there's, and they gotta be specific code violations. We can't, it's not an opportunity, for a fishing expedition, just to go in there and try to find violations.
Well, it's a beginning anyway.
That's the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah. So supposedly some of the neighbors know what the inside looks like. So, well, you get affidavits from the neighbors.
Exactly.
But, I told Aaron, you got to tell me what personal knowledge you have, and if you don't, I can go with you and we can sit down with the neighbors and try to put together an affidavit if you want. But it's just something that he needs to set aside the time to actually do it if they want to pursue this search warrant. But I think step one is, let's get the outside cleaned up first.
Yes, yeah.
At least that will alleviate the issues with the neighborhood. You know, when you look at the stuff.
Okay.
The other thing, Mr. Elk admits that he runs a scrap business. And I told him, well, you can't run a scrapping business in a residential zoning district. And the village hasn't cited him for that, but it's something, if he does it in the future, you can. You know, it's not a home occupation. So I said, you can do the paperwork for it in your house, but you can't store the scrap at your house.
But he even admitted.
Oh, he admitted, he said, yeah, well, his nickname is Dave the Scrapper, or Scrapper Dave.
So if he were to go around on Monday or Tuesday, gather this and immediately move to the scrapyard to sell.
Yeah, as long as it's-
That's what he used to do, I think.
Yeah, as long as the stuff isn't stored outside, that's fine. I think, and I think Carl's right, that's what he used to do, but as he's gotten older and slower or something, he just, the step of actually turning the scrap into money is lagging behind. He loves collecting the
Yeah,
stuff.
he's just accused.